Hey y'all, I hope you're well. Welcome to another episode of Healthcare Boulevard. This is a podcast where we shine more light on healthcare, and our goal here is to provide more options to people looking to choose healthcare as a career path, regardless of their background. My name is Senaka Pomo, and I am your host and creator here. I thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Remember, you can tune in on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. Hello everyone, welcome back to Healthcare Boulevard. I'm your host again. I'm here today with somebody new who I'm very excited to get to talk to a little bit more. This is Vivek. He is a perfusionist, and I will let him take over and introduce himself to you guys. Vivek, welcome, and please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be with you and share a few things with you. As a cardiac perfusionist, I'm practicing in India, and I have been practicing for around 15 years now. And uh, mainly people do not know what is a cardiac perfusionist. Means who is a cardiac perfusionist? So basically, a cardiac perfusionist is a person who operates the heart lung machine in the operation theater during open heart surgeries. So there are three main members in the open heart surgery. That is the cardiac surgeon, the cardiac anesthetist, and the cardiac perfusionist. So I am the third person, and uh, mainly people do not know this. The people know that there is a cardiac surgeon who operates the heart and who
They're the one that
repairs.
everybody hears about. Then they're running the show, right?
Yeah,
As far as patients know, at least.
yeah. So basically, there are few people who are working in the background, and as a team, we all work for the outcome, for the good outcome of the patient. And as a cardiac perfusionist, I am working in India for last 15 years, and I have been uh, involved in many complicated cases, um, in adult and pediatric cases. So that's it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, you went a little bit actually answered some of my question already. So let's go back a little bit and talk about how, in at least in India, how do you become a perfect? What does it take to earn that title?
Okay, so basically in India, we need to have there is a basic requirement. There is a basic eligibility criteria. We need to have a basic science background. That is, you need to have some knowledge or previous examination about biology. Minimum, uh, like what you say, I don't know in other countries. Like we say it, we call it as percentage. We need at least 60% in biology subject.
Okay.
So on that basis, we can apply for the perfusion course. And after that, there are few interviews, there are few exams, entrance exams, which we need to clear. And after clearing the exams, we are selected for the course. And it is a 3.5 years course.
Okay.
So in the 3 years, we have all the like different subjects from basic to advanced. So in the first year, we have basic anatomy, physiology, microbiology, biochemistry, pharmacology. Then it goes on increasing from the basic to the advanced. Then in the third year, we have this main topic, that is perfusion technology, which is completely focused on cardiac surgery, that is open heart surgery. So there are different techniques in the open heart surgery which we need to learn to operate the heart lung machine. And there are different life support systems like IABP, intra aortic balloon pump, and ECMO. So there are different machines which we handle. And there are machines like which we use in the operation theater, and there are some few machines which we handle in the ICU.
Mm.
So there is a difference between these machines. So we need to learn all these skills, and continuously we need to upgrade our skills, as there are some advancements. Now we see that there is robotic surgery in cardiac surgery. So we need to advance ourselves. We need to update our skills.
Okay.
So after 3 years, we have a 6 months internship. So it's basically a minimum 6 years, or sometimes it can be around 12 months. So 6 to 12 months internship, and after this, we get the certificate as a cardiac perfusionist.
Okay. Okay. So is your training is it a minimum requirement for a bachelor's degree, a master's, or what is the minimum degree required once you're done with your
Yeah.
education?
So the minimum requirement is a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as once you start working, well, after you graduate and before you start working, and I know of course we'll speak this is specifically to India. Do you have a certificate, a licensing or certification exam that you have to pass after your graduation?
Yeah, there are few exams. It depends on the country
Mm,
where we are practicing.
mm-hmm.
So in India, we have a exam called uh, clinical perfusion exam.
Okay.
So it is the Indian national exam, which um, like we should be practicing for at least 3 years to appear for the exam.
Mm.
And after that, we can apply for the exam. Then we'll get the certificate as a clinical cardiac perfusionist in India.
You say you need to be working at least 3 years before you get
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Okay, so in those 3 years, are you working with somebody who is already a perfectionist?
yeah,
So that's your clinical
yeah,
time period, like your residency, so to speak.
yeah.
Right. And then after that, you don't need to work with anyone. You just by
No,
yourself.
we can work independently.
Oh, okay. So
So
when you
before
are
that,
done
yeah,
with your training and you pass so when you're done with your training, then you're working with somebody else for
yeah,
about 3 years at least. And then you can
yes,
sit for the exam. Is that correct?
yeah, right. So
Okay.
basically, we are working as a junior perfusionist or as a
Mm-hmm.
trainee.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, interesting. So when you are in the so one of the questions I like to ask is what um sort of what specialties you're working, but for you, you're operating the machine for heart and
Yeah,
lung surgery. So that's your bread and butter, right?
yeah.
Okay. Um, what made you decide to go into this career?
So basically, for me, I never means I I never decided to go in this field because actually my dad is also a cardiac perfusionist.
Gotcha.
So I never had an idea, or I didn't plan to go in this field. I had different ideas in my mind. Basically, I was interested in animation. So like I was I was interested in some creative field. But somehow, when I visited my dad's hospital, one day I went there and I saw the job he's doing. So I saw the things he's dealing with. I saw the heart lung machine and the operation, which the surgeon is like there was a team who was operating on the heart. So I
Mm-hmm.
saw the operation. I saw the heart, and then I thought that this is something interesting,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it adds value to our life. Like the one thing gives me satisfaction is when we operate on a patient, we immediately get the results, because when we operate on a patient, we
Right.
see that the patient is after the surgery, the patient is shifted in the ICU or
Mm-hmm.
the CCU, and we see that the patient is doing good. When the heart is operated, the patient is we are giving life to the patient.
Mm-hmm.
We are
Mm-hmm.
adding some value to his life. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe we have done around 1,000 cases till now. I have done 1,000 cases, but for the patient, it is his first case.
Person, yeah,
So
hopefully only, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the first operation. So we need to give our 100%,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
that is what makes it different from
Mm-hmm.
other.
Yeah, yeah. So give us some examples of cases that requires a perfusionist. So we know it's a heart and lung surgery. Are there any differences in those cases? Does it differ whether what's causing the patient to need heart or lung surgery?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, give us some example
Yeah.
of those cases.
So basically, not all cardiac surgeries or not all heart surgeries require a perfusionist,
Mm-hmm.
but um, it is very important to have a cardiac perfusionist available
Okay.
during the operation in the operation theater.
Mm-hmm.
It is very important to have the perfusionist uh, uh, on the standby side during the operation theater in the operation theater, because you never know, like there are different surgeries. So you might have heard about the CABG, that is the coronary artery bypass grafting.
Mm-hmm.
So we most of us we have heard, I think, means many people have heard about this,
Like
that
I
there
think we call it the cabbage over here.
cabbage,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cabbage. So there are arteries in the heart, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when the arteries get blocked, we see that the patient, the heart becomes weak, and at that time we need to bypass the arteries. We need to add a graft to the arteries.
Mm-hmm.
We need to bypass the arteries. So
Yeah.
in that case, basically we are not opening the heart. We are operating on the heart, like we are operating from the outside. We are not
Mm-hmm.
operating inside the heart.
Gotcha.
We are basically putting a graft on the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are not operating the heart, uh, then there is a not a, means there is not a major role of the perfusionist. The
Gotcha.
perfusionist is
Okay.
not in the major role. The main role is of the cardiac perfusionist. The main role is of the cardiac surgeon and the cardiac anesthetist.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes during these surgeries, the patient gets arrested during surgeries. The heart stops
Mm.
while operating.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, you need to have a cardiac perfusionist available, because when the heart stops, you don't have any of the other option. You need to go on the cardiopulmonary bypass,
Mm.
because when the heart stops, you need a cardiac perfusionist who can handle the heart lung machine. So we just have 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes to go on the cardiopulmonary bypass, because when the heart stops, the
Mm-hmm.
blood flow is completely stopped.
Right.
So you don't have much time. You need to react very immediately. You need to react quickly. So we have 3 minutes to save the brain. So in that 3 to 5 minutes, basically it's minimum 3 minutes. So in
Mm-hmm.
that 3 minutes, we need to set up the cardiopulmonary setup, that is the heart lung machine. So there are different components in the machine. There are oxygenators, there are heat exchangers, and there are different tubings which we use, different tubings and connectors. We need to connect the tubings, the oxygenator, the heat exchanger, everything, and we need to connect this system to the patient. So
Mm-hmm.
this system replaces the heart of the patient.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it does the work of the heart. When the heart is stopped during operation, during the surgery,
Right.
we need to connect this heart lung machine to the patient to keep the patient alive. So that is the reason you need a cardiac perfusionist
Mm-hmm.
during a cabbage surgery, that is the CABG, coronary artery bypass.
Mm-hmm.
So and in other cases, there are few surgeries where we need to open the heart. So when you need to open the heart, we can't open a beating heart, right? When the heart is moving
Mm-hmm.
or when the heart is pumping, you can't open the heart because there is blood in the heart.
Right.
The heart has blood, so it is pumping the blood. So we need to stop the heart and remove all the blood from the heart. We need to drain the blood from the heart, and then we can open the heart. So in that case, this is like a elective case. This is a planned case where we use the heart lung machine uh, for opening the heart. So before starting the surgery, we connect this heart lung machine to the patient,
Mm-hmm.
and then the perfusionist prepares a solution which is called the cardioplegia solution.
Okay.
So this solution goes into the heart, and it completely stops the heart for
Mm-hmm.
around 30 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
there are different types of cardioplegia solutions. Like some solutions stop the heart for 30 minutes, some stop the heart for 60 minutes, some has effect of around 120 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
basically we stop the heart for 30 minutes, and in that period, the surgeon opens the heart, drains the blood. He removes all the blood from the heart and give the blood to the cardiac perfusionist, which again comes in the circuit, which comes in the cardiopulmonary bypass circuit, and which is filtered, which is purified, oxygenated, and given back to the patient. So basically, the heart lung machine is doing the job of the heart and the lungs of the patient.
Mhm.
It is a
Mhm.
bypass machine, so the heart and lungs are bypassed. And when this machine is working, the surgeon can open the heart and he can operate on the heart.
Mhm.
So
That's
that is the
that's
reason.
really cool. That's really cool. So you're essentially, like you said, doing the job of that patient's heart and lungs
Yeah,
for them for 30 minutes or longer, depending
yeah,
on the operation, while their heart is being worked on. And because when you have the heart open, like you said, the blood is not there's blood in the heart as it's supposed to be,
yeah,
right? It's the whole job of the heart is to pump blood through the body. And so when your that part is not able to, then you take the role. When you are looking at the when you're operating the machine, does the machine has a portion for that does the job of the heart and a portion that does the job of the lung,
yeah,
essentially, since you are needing to do both and they work together?
yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Um, and when does the blood have to be, do you do anything to the blood besides running through the machine? Is there any testing that needs to be done while you are
Yeah, yeah.
running this machine?
So there are different things which we need to keep in mind when we are
Mm-hmm.
on the cardiopulmonary bypass, because we are not just bypassing the heart and lung. So basically, we are keeping the patient alive.
Mm-hmm.
So when the blood is bypassed from the heart and lungs, it comes like it comes in the circuit which is connected to the cardiopulmonary bypass system. So basically, the blood is exposed to a external surface, a foreign surface.
Mm-hmm.
So this triggers many inflammatory response.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to monitor all these responses. We need to monitor the pressure, because when we are on cardiopulmonary bypass, basically we are doing the job of the heart. So like we need to keep the pressure of the patient constant. There should not be any fluctuations, because
Mm-hmm.
if the pressure goes down, there it may cause some complications to the brain, to the kidneys, to the major organs, to the vital organs. So we need to monitor the pressure continuously. And there are few tests which we continuously do on the cardiopulmonary bus. That is, the we call it the ABG, the arterial blood gas sampling.
Mm-hmm.
So we collect the arterial blood gas, and we check all the parameters in the blood, like the electrolytes, the gases, means oxygen delivery, and everything we monitor, and we try to keep all these parameters in a normal range.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There should not be any acidosis.
Okay.
So we
Yeah.
maintain the pH level, we maintain
Interesting.
the oxygen saturation, we maintain the potassium levels,
Mm-hmm.
everything. There are different parameters which we maintain. We even
Mm-hmm.
monitor the urine output, because we are not just replacing the heart and lung. Actually, we are keeping the patient alive. So we need to continuously monitor. We need to keep in mind that the blood is perfused at a constant level. The tissue perfusion is at a constant level. It should be adequate for the kidneys, for the vital organs to function normally. Because
Mm-hmm.
if we compromise in this, after the patient is shifted to the ICU, there may be some complication with the kidneys or with the brain. So we need to preserve, we need to protect the brain, kidneys, liver, all the organs, not only heart and lung, but we need to protect all the organs.
Mm-hmm.
And for
Mm-hmm.
that, we have different techniques.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a heater cooler machine. So basically, this heater cooler machine is used to reduce the temperature of the patient.
Mm-hmm.
So during open heart surgery, when we open the heart, we reduce the temperature of the patient. So like our normal temperature is 37 degrees, which we have normally. So
Mm-hmm.
when we are on cardiopulmonary bypass, we reduce the temperature to 30 degrees
Mm-hmm.
or 32 degrees. because we need to reduce the demand of the patient's body. We need to reduce the oxygen demand of the patient,
Mm.
and it gives us a time to operate on the patient, because as the demand reduces, there are lower chances of infections,
Mm-hmm.
lower chances of complications with the organs, or it reduces the chance of the organ failure.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we need to keep in mind all these parameters. There are different techniques which we use to drain the blood, to give back the blood, and that is what it makes it very like, we say that we need to be always alert,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
cardiovascular,
Yeah.
because the reaction time is very less.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing is, we can't compromise with air bubbles, because the circuit which we use should be completely de-aired. There
Mm.
should not be a single air bubble in that.
In there. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you see, in our body, in the, like, when the heart is pumping the blood, it goes into the arteries. It goes, the blood is pumped from the LV into the aorta, and from the aorta it goes to the arteries, and it comes back from the venous system. So
Mm-hmm.
there is no air bubble, air in the circulatory system. So same way, we should be like, we should de-air the circuit before connecting to the patient. There should not be any air, because if air is uh, given to the patient, it goes to the brain and it can cause brain damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When is there, well, are you having to navigate any part of this? Because as far as just a regular running human being, there are different amounts of blood going to different parts of our body at any given time. Is that something you have to
No, no,
be knowledgeable of or like navigate?
no. We are not
Okay.
monitoring the amount of blood which is going to the different parts of the body.
Okay.
The main thing which we monitor is just the brain.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
The
and
other, yeah,
mhm,
other organs which we monitor is just the kidney function,
mhm,
because basically we can see the urine output and we can come to a conclusion that the kidney is perfused well.
mhm, mhm,
But for the brain, you can't like, you can't tell whether the brain is getting blood circulation or not, the brain is perfused properly or not. So
mhm.
for that we have few systems which we use.
Okay. All right. Once you're done, once the surgery is done and you you're given the green light by the rest of the
Yeah,
team to, hey, let's get the blood back in the
yeah.
bodies. How how do you like how long does it take, right? After you've done your part to get the blood back in the patient,
Yeah.
how long does it take for the body and heart? Generally, I'm sure every patient is different to for the heart to take over again and continue doing its job.
So basically, it depends on the heart, it
Mm,
depends on the patient, and
mm-hmm,
it depends on the type of surgery we are performing. So there are different surgeries, there are few complicated surgeries, and the time which is required for the surgery is different in different cases. So sometimes we need around 1 hour, sometimes it takes 2 hours, sometimes it takes 3 hours.
mm-hmm, mm,
So during this period, the heart is stopped completely. So minimum time which we need is 30 minutes.
mm-hmm,
So
mm,
it may increase depending on the surgery, the defect of the heart. There are
mm-hmm,
different types of defects in the heart which we need to repair.
mm-hmm.
So when we repair the defects, say around about 2 hours. So in that 2 hours, we need to arrange the heart for around 1 hour.
Okay.
So after that 1 hour, we need to restart the heart, because the heart was arrested for 1 hour.
Mm-hmm,
And when we try to start the heart, we need to administer few drugs. Like
mm-hmm,
basically, we all know adre is a very important drug, adrenaline, which is used to start the heart. So there are different inotropes, there are different drugs which
mm-hmm.
we administer to start the heart, and slowly we fill the heart. And when the heart is filled, uh, we try to maintain the like there are different systems which like there are different cannulas which are inserted in the heart to drain the heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when we fill the heart, there is a cannula that is called as the venting cannula.
Mm-hmm.
So this is for venting the heart, so that when we fill the heart should not distend. It should
Mm-hmm.
not extend. Like when we can't fill it completely because it is not like a balloon.
Mm-hmm.
There is a limit for the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to monitor the heart continuously. We need to fill the heart, and slowly the heart takes over its job. So we like it is called weaning off from bypass, means
Mm-hmm.
coming off from bypass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
While before, like before starting this, um, before starting the surgery, we call it as going on bypass. So at the end we need to come off bypass, so we need to come gradually. We can't suddenly disconnect the circuit and completely depend on the heart. We can't
Right away. Mm-hmm.
immediately fill the heart. We need to do it gradually, we need to do
Mm-hmm.
it slowly. As the heart starts beating, as the heart is ready to pump the blood, we need to slowly come off, we need to slowly disconnect the system from the heart. Slowly we fill the heart, slowly disconnect the system from the heart. And
Mm-hmm.
as the heart completely starts beating properly, we completely disconnect the heart, disconnect the system from the heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So when you, and this is part of the reason why you also are in the ICU, right? Because you may not have
Yeah.
finished getting everything back in the hub in the
So
OR.
well,
Is that the case?
no, actually, in the ICU, like there are different life support systems which
Mm-hmm.
we need to manage. Like in the operation theater, we have to handle the heart lung machine. That is the main job of the cardiac perfusionist.
Mm-hmm.
In the ICU, when we shift the patient to the ICU, uh, in some cases, we see that the patient's heart is not completely recovered because maybe there may be some surgical damage, or maybe the heart is uh, weak pre-op,
Mm-hmm.
before the surgery. So in these cases we need to add few extra life support systems to the heart. So when we add this life support systems to the heart, as a perfusionist we should be there to monitor these systems to support the heart
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
till the heart starts working on its own, till the heart is completely recovered.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, having been in this business, in this, well, it is a type of business, but in this field for 15 years, what would you say are some of your challenges, some of the challenges of your position as a perfectionist?
um, See, basically there are different challenges every day we face because
Mm,
there are few challenges which are like nightmares to a perfusionist.
mm,
We can't even imagine about that because basically during a heart surgery the patient's life is in our hands.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Even if the surgeon is operating, see, the surgeon is operating, he's doing his job.
mm-hmm,
The anesthetist, he's doing his job, he's giving anesthesia.
mm-hmm,
But as a perfusionist, the patient's life completely depends on the cardiac perfusionist.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it is a very tough job. It is a very stressful and
I
it is a
can
very
imagine.
skillful job.
Mm-hmm,
So we need to be completely alert in this case
mm-hmm,
because a single mistake, a small negligence can cause a major damage to the patient.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So basically, sometimes the biggest nightmare of a cardiac perfusionist is when the system fails.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Sometimes you see when we connect the heart lung machine, even if the perfusionist is well experienced,
mm-hmm,
but at some point you realize that you are depending on a machine.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But
That's
if the
right.
machine fails, if the system which you have connected, if that fails, that is your biggest nightmare because you
Mm-hmm,
can't do anything about that. But in that case, how you react, how you solve the problem, that is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So I would share my experience that once when I was on a cardiopulmonary bypass, we are operating, and when the heart was opened, the surgeon was operating, and at that moment, I noticed that the oxygenator. So we have a system that is called oxygenator, which oxygenates the blood
Mm-hmm.
because we drain the blood, and the blood goes through a oxygenator where there is oxygen diffusion. The oxygen is mixed with the blood. So in that case, I noticed that the oxygenator has stopped working.
Mm-hmm.
And if the oxygenator stops working, we need to immediately stop the circulation and we need to connect another oxygenator. But it is not as easy as it sounds,
Sounds, yeah.
because we are completely dependent on the machine. And if you need to change the oxygenator, you need to completely stop the patient circulation.
Mm-hmm.
And there are different connections. There are 4 to 5 connections which we need to disconnect and connect to the new oxygenator within 3 minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah. And this is the biggest nightmare of the cardiac perfusionist.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do this in 3 minutes, you will lose the patient.
Yeah.
There is no other option. You don't have any other option because the
Mm-hmm.
heart is stopped. The heart is not pumping. The heart is not working. And there is no blood circulation in the patient's body. It is
Mm-hmm.
completely dependent on your machine. So you have only 3 minutes. It's like diffusing a bomb,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
basically.
sounds like it. I'm
Yeah.
over here like, oh my gosh, you got it.
Yeah.
You can do it.
It's yeah. And
The
it
patient believes in you.
yeah, and there is a lot of pressure over you because people are watching.
Yeah.
People are watching what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
you have only 3 minutes and you need to defuse the bomb.
Yeah. All eyes on you, and the whole team is like, come
Yeah.
on, this is
Every
we all waiting for
yeah.
you. You can do it.
And nobody is doing their job because they are
Yeah.
waiting for your job to be
Yeah.
done so that
Yeah.
they can proceed. They can start their job. They can do
Mm-hmm.
their work because the surgeon can't operate in this situation. And all like people are looking at you, and it is a very stressful situation. In that 3 minutes
Yeah.
you experience that as a cardiac perfusionist, it's not easy. It's not that easy as you see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. And what would you say is your favorite part of your career?
Like, means daily or in 15 years.
Just in the 15 years that you've been working.
The favorite part is the satisfaction which we get. Like I would say not in 15 years. uh, I would say it is the satisfaction which I get on
Mm-hmm.
daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
whenever I operate on a patient, whenever I handle a heart lung machine, and during the cardiopulmonary bypass, when I monitor different parameters of the patient, when I maintain the pressure of the patient, and when I check the blood reports, when they are in the normal range, it's like I'm getting a certificate for my job.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Mm-hmm.
the most satisfactory part of my job.
Yeah, that's exciting. And as far as are you working with in the same hospital as your dad was?
No, I am working in a different hospital.
Okay. And is your dad still working as a perfectionist?
No, he's retired now.
He's retired. Nice, nice. When you are now working as a perfectionist, what do you do for fun?
For fun, basically, like I follow my passion.
Mm,
I love drawing, sketching. So whenever I get free time, I try to do some sketching, some
mm-hmm.
paintings.
Nice.
And as you know, I have an Instagram account,
Mm-hmm.
the Global Perfusion Community page on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, LinkedIn. So I create few like videos. I
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I love to edit videos, and
Nice.
I do this stuff, creative stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Um, and do you have Well, for yourself and also in general, is there any room for growth as a perfusionist, like career-wise? Is there other things that you could decide to do, especially for somebody like you who's well experienced in the field?
No, I didn't get you. Pardon?
Oh, yeah. So are there any career growth opportunities as a perfusionist,
Yeah.
especially for those who acquired experience like yourself?
I means beside perfusion or
Mhm.
yeah,
Besides
there
being
are
in the OR and
yeah,
operating the
okay.
machine.
Okay, so there are few opportunities.
Mhm.
There are few roles which are uh, not in the operation theater. There are few medical companies like who are dealing with the perfusion equipments, who are manufacturing the oxygenators,
Gotcha.
the
Mhm.
tubings, connectors, cannulas. So a perfusionist can work with the company also
Mhm.
as a technical advisor or as a research team for R&D.
Mhm. Now, are there different like type of brands of machines that you're using? And if so, how do you make sure that you're staying up to date to how each machine operates?
No, I didn't get.
Are there
Sorry.
different brands or different types of machine, or they're all made the same way regardless of which company is making them?
Uh, the basic like there are different companies
Mm.
and the machine have the same role, but the functions the features are different.
Mm-hmm. There you
Yeah.
go. That's yeah. So as the does each hospital tend to stick to one type, one brand, so that you don't have to learn the differences in each machine?
No, actually, as a perfusionist, we need to learn all the machines
Mm,
available in the market.
mm.
There are
Okay.
different machines. There are different types of machines in the market. So
Mm-hmm.
we need to be familiar with all the machines
Mm-hmm. And
because yeah, because you never know when like I'm working in a particular hospital, but if I'm switching my job, if I'm
mm,
going to another hospital, maybe they are using a different machine. So I should
mm-hmm.
be familiar with that machine also.
As well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And do you take I mean, I'm sure they're coming in with instruction manual, but if you need say a refresher or have a question about the machine, not during surgery, of course, before surgery, or what is usually your go-to? Are you talking to the manufacturer, or do you have somebody who in the hospital who is more potentially more knowledgeable of the machine because they're the one who decide that the hospital will use that machine?
Yeah, basically we need to talk to the manufacturer.
Okay, that's
So they have their engineer
mm-hmm.
who is familiar with the machine, who knows all the features, like all the things, and he should be available at least for 2 to 3 cases to
Mm-hmm.
explain like all the functions of the machine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what is your schedule like as a perfusionist?
So basically, as a perfusionist, there is there is no fixed schedule for the perfusionist because
Mm-hmm.
see daily we are having 1 to 2 cardiac surgeries.
Okay.
So when if we start in the morning, suppose at 8 a.m., you can't assume that the surgery will get over at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
or 11 a.m.
Right.
It
Yeah.
depends. Yeah, it depends on the patient's situation, the
Yeah.
heart's condition.
Mm-hmm.
So it may take around 3 hours to 4 hours. So if there are two surgeries, so maybe for one surgery, if we need 4 hours, then for two
Mm-hmm.
surgeries, there may be 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And even after surgery, there may be some situation where we need to again open the heart, again open the patient and operate on the heart because there is some problem.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some problem. So we
Mm-hmm.
need to check the heart again.
Yeah. Okay. So your schedule is pretty, would you say it's tends to be unpredictable?
Yeah, it's unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, lastly, any word of advice for potential or future perfusionists, either in India or otherwise? I know the educational path is slightly different, but the work that you're doing is about the same across, I will imagine. So, any word of advice for anybody wanting or curious about becoming a perfusionist?
Uh, One simple advice I would like to give that, see, this is a very challenging job. If you are looking at this job as a high paying job or as a earning source, you
Mm-hmm.
should not enter this field.
Mm-hmm.
You should not choose becoming a cardiac perfusionist if you just want to earn money.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to give something to the society, if you want to add some value to your life and to others' life, you should definitely consider becoming a cardiac perfusionist, because
Mm-hmm.
this is not just for earning money. Because there are many challenges when you become a perfusionist. You need to be uh, like you need to be calm, you need to be patient,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have a lot of patience in every
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have patience, if you're not calm, you can't handle the situation properly.
Yeah. I can
So if,
imagine when the
yeah,
pressure is on, when you're freaking
yeah.
out, it's not helping anyone, right?
So
Yeah.
because some people, they look at this profession, they think that this is very interesting, and it may be it may give them a good payment,
Mm-hmm.
good salary. So they think that this should be a good option to earn money. But this is not to just earn money. You need to have a you should be very calm, you should be dedicated to become a
Mm-hmm.
perfusionist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
No,
you
that's
as
very exciting. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and as I said, the timing, the schedule is not predictable. You need to be available 24 hours though.
Mm.
So you should be ready to give your 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Vivek. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining.
Welcome.
I know it's the wee hours over there. You're in the evening, and I'm early in the morning here. So I'm very happy that we made this happen. I was on Google trying to figure out, okay, time difference, IST versus EST, the time
Yeah.
conversion. I was like, okay, let me make sure I get this right. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to tell, pick a time and then I'm late or early or something. So the time different, and I've had somebody else on here before from India, a different profession, and I remember it was tricky as well because they had to wake up very early
Yeah.
or I have to wake up very early. It's always very tricky, but I really do appreciate you coming on and sharing your profession with us. It's one of those professions that many many people who know about the healthcare profession may
Yeah.
not have ever hear about a
Yeah.
perfusionist. I will say I haven't heard about a perfusionist until recently. And
Yeah.
so unless you're in that world, especially if you're not working in the hospital,
Yeah.
it's a profession that may be overlooked as far as even knowing that it exists, right? The cardiologists are well, everybody knows cardiologists. We know I consider them the big people in the front of the screen, right? Everybody hear about the
Yeah.
perfusionists. More so secondary to that, the anesthesiologist, but somebody doing the job that you are doing, running the machine, literally doing the job of the heart and lung while the heart is being cut into, something that can oftentimes be overlooked and not thought about, but it is absolutely necessary to have somebody doing your job, to have a perfusionist in the OR when your heart is being operated on in an open heart surgery, right? We cannot do
Yeah.
it, cannot happen without you. So um a profession that is direly needed, and I really, really appreciate you taking the time to share
Thank you.
what you do with us. I appreciate you.
Thank you. It's nice speaking to you, connecting to you. It was a wonderful time. And thank you for having me here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely,
And I wish you all
absolutely.
the best.
Thank you, thank you. Well, keep doing what you do. I found you on IG because you're sharing your profession with everyone, right? And I was like, oh, I appreciate that. So keep doing that. People need to learn, and but how else is the next generation of perfusionists going to decide to become perfusionists if they never hear about the profession, right? So definitely keep doing what you're doing. And again, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you again for joining me. I appreciate you. Please subscribe, follow, like, comment, and share. And stay blessed. Bye.